Welcome everyone to another edition of Bosco Racing. Today we have one hell of a race for you. Action, excitement, everything you can ask for in a karting race. Here's your starting lineup. Number one dad, Brian, Moto Lion, ZMT, Steve C. And coming in at 6th is the Rizzler. 7th position goes to Scrambled Eggs, Full Metal Geo, Langford, Brennan H. And 315. That's your starting 11. We have 11 here in the field tonight. We're looking forward to an exciting race. And the green flag drops. Number one dad taking him out for the first time through the TV turn. Everybody seems to be making it single file through the turn, but that won't last long. Guaranteed excitement tonight. Here we go, number one dad through the S turns with Brian hot on his tail. Brian will not wait long. We had oh, look at this. We're already bunching up in the S turns. TV turn coming through it. A little bit of side-by-side action. Steve C sitting back there in 5th position, but I don't think that's going to last long either. Brian gets bumped by Moto Lions going into the S turns. Brian knows he's got to move. Number one dad looks like he's having a little trouble with his kart. He's sliding way more than he normally would, and that's only going to slow him down. Brian's hot on his tail right now, coming into the S turns, and there's the move. Brian with a nice pass in the S turns past number one dad. Number one dad doesn't want to let anybody else go, so he slams the door on Moto Lions. Moto Lions is hot on number one dad's trail, coming through the TV turn. And now here into the backstretch. Pretty much single file, legging it out a little bit. Nobody's bound up in the S turns. Let's see what happens here. Brian maintains that leadership position. Moto Lions is hot on that number one dad's tail, who's running in 2nd. Scrambled Eggs in orange, being followed by Steve C. Steve C's in a nice fast car tonight. He looks like he's riding really well. Oh, here we go. We got an accident. First accident of the night. Looks like Moto Lions turns around in the horseshoe turn, and they bunch up behind him. Coming into the front stretch, you can see Brian, number one dad, laughing it up, seeing what's going on. So tonight we had a 9-man invert. So Langford is our number one qualifier for the evening. However, with a 9-man invert, that put number one dad on the pole. Here we go again. Back to green flag racing. We have Brian leading us through the S turns here with number one dad shortly behind, starting to get side by side. Looks like the Rizzler is on the move, hot on Moto Lion's tail. Here we go, coming onto your screen now. You can see we're running in order. We have Brian, number one dad, Moto Lions, the Rizzler. Scrambled Eggs and Steve C. Scrambled Eggs is in the orange. Steve C is in the white helmet. Here we go. We're going single file. Here we go. Here we go. We got 2 wide. Moto Lions takes the position on number one dad. Number one dad coming, trying to give him anything he's got. So number one dad's just lacking a little bit of top end speed. Can't get away from anybody in the straightaways. Getting run over. Without that grip in the corner and no top end straightaway speed, really, really hard to get around this track. Outside temperatures around 35 degrees tonight. Oh, here we go. Nice move. Who was that? That was the Rizzler making a nice move on number one dad. Will it stick? Let's see. No, number one dad maintains the position with the Rizzler hot on his tail. Here we go. Coming out of the TV turn. Let's see. Here we go. Number one dad, Rizzler, being followed by Steve C. Scrambled eggs. Oh, and Gio's made it up a couple spots. Wow, Gio is not going to wait. I'll tell you what. Gio started 8th in this race, and currently he's running, what is that? 2, 4, 6, 7th. All right, so he's made one move, but he's got a lot more to come into him. Number 1 dad passes the start-finish line with the second pack in tow. Look at this, Steve C making a nice move to the inside of both. Oh, here we go. We got a caution. So that kind of action right there with Steve C and the Rizzler kind of tying it up. Making for an exciting race. Watch that on the restart here, folks. We're going back to green. We got a race here between the guy in the white helmet and the guy behind him, the Rizzler. Let's see what goes on here coming out of the horseshoe turn. Brian calmly taking first position. Riding that out. Oh, here we go. What the? Oh my gosh. A major collision in turn 1. Holy moly. Looks like Moto Lions just turned in front of Dad. Here's the replay. Moto Lions spins. Number 1 Dad. Whoa! Smashes into him. 100% unintentional. That is the fastest point of the straightaway, so there is no change in your mind there. Oh, here it is in full speed. Oh my gosh. There's going to be some backs, some ribs, some necks that aren't going to feel the same in the morning. Moto Lions just got turned around. I don't know if he was checking up with Brian. Here's Brian. Looks like he's got to recover from the action here. Moto Lions pulling up alongside of him. They're going to have a talk. Not exactly sure what happened here, but oh, hey, what's this? Number 1 Dad is getting out of his cart. Oh, I guess his cart seat slid all the way back in addition to possibly broken. That was a major collision. I mean, you could see Moto Lion's cart come up off the ground. It had to come up at least 5 inches off the ground. Wow, what a hit. Moto, I'm sure your back will be paying for that one. I know number 1 dads will be paying for that, but you know, I mean, that's racing. When you're coming here at the end of this front stretch, you're carrying as much speed as you possibly can into turn 1. And once you commit, changing directions is not an easy thing to do. It is a tough thing to do. Here's number 1 Dad. He's recovered. He's kind of coming back around the field, and we are going to line up and get this back to green shortly. A couple of your early movers. You got Gio moving nicely through the field, as well as Steve C. Our starting order for this one is going to be Brian, Moto Lions, number 1 Dad, ZMT, the Rizzler. Here we go, Brian, coming around the S-turns. Look at Steve C making a nice turn, keeping the Rizzler behind him right here in the white helmet. Brian carrying that speed confidently through turn 1. You'll be able to see what I'm talking about, folks. When people are carrying that kind of speed into the TV turn, it is just unforgiving if someone stops in front of you. Side by side, Gio and Langford dicing it up a little bit further back in the field. Coming into your screen now, Scrambled Eggs, and Gio is all over the back of Scrambled Eggs and through the S-turns right now. Scrambled in the orange, Gio in the white shirt, and look at them come out of the, finishing it into the front stretch. Ryan not exactly running away from it in this segment. You got Moto Lions on his tail. Then you got a 2-man race where number 1 Dad and Steve C are the second pack. And that third pack, whoa, you got ZMT, Scrambled Eggs, Gio, Langford, all dicing it up. Scrambled Eggs is back to the bumper of the Rizzler. Let's see what happens. Rizzler coming into the S-turns right now. Rizzler coming through. Oh, look at Scrambled. Right on the tail. Coming up into the TV turn. You can see all the excitement that's coming on. Wow. What a race. Folks, when you're watching karting, you have to look back into the field sometime to see the excitement, and you can see it right here. Scrambled Eggs and Gio. Gio is trying to make that move on Scrambled, but Scrambled's running a really good defense. How long he can hold him off for is the question. Another caution can completely change this race, even though they're stretching out single file right now. Oh, here we go. What's going on here? The Rizzler headed to pit lane. He's got some kart issue or something. Something's going on with the Rizzler. He just pulled off. And he's being looked at by the official to see what's going on. We're going to take a caution due to the Rizzler having some kind of issue with his kart. So we have to see what's going on here. I think it's the right thing to do, right? If he's going to get back into the field. Here we go. Quick stop and go for the Rizzler. So he's got to make up a lap. We're going to give him that lap back due to it being a kart defect. Looks like we got a policy here, right? If it's the kart itself, these are rental karts, but if it's the kart itself, we're going to give you your lap back. No problem. We all want to race. Here comes Brian, but we're back to green flag action, and Brian's leading the pack once again. Look at him. He can stretch it out at any time he wants. He's got a great kart, great handling. Good top end speed, and very talented driver. Some other talented drivers back in the... Oh, look at this! Steve C makes waste of number one dad. Well, you carry that speed in. You know what? Steve C got into him just gently enough to move him aside, and number one dad is getting handled. Look at him. He's getting pushed from every direction. The Rizzler wants a piece in the S turns as well. Number one dad is able to hold off the Rizzler. Not an easy thing to do. The Rizzler is flying tonight. Woo! Steve C, look at him go. All the way in the third position. Number one dad just bunching it up. Looks like he needs a couple of laps to even get that kart moving. Good Lord, that's a tough kart to drive right now. Look at this. There we go. The Rizzler takes the same move as some advice from Steve C and makes the same move in turn one. Moves number one dad aside and makes the pass. Not only did he make the pass, but Full Metal Gio went with him. We knew Gio was hungry, and sure enough, made the pass with him. There goes that freight train. So number one dad is now holding back only half the field. The thing with that is oh, here we go. Number one dad gets spun by Scrambled. And are we going to caution? I think we should stay green, but no, the caution flag is waved. It's really, really crazy here tonight, folks. I mean, you have some karts that hook up right away, and some just take a couple laps to come in. I think number one dad is in one of those karts. And contrary, I think the front 4 or 5 are in the hot rods. And I'm telling you what, that they got the talent to handle it. Here's number one dad's kart cam following right behind Gio. Let's see the moves he's got coming in here. He's looking right at the Rizzler and looking to take him. The Rizzler's looking outside of Steve C as well. That is one hell of a race in front of number one dad. He's got great seats for it. Meanwhile, behind number one dad is Scrambled. Oh, here we go. Oh! Gio makes the pass on the Rizzler. Number one dad gets into the Rizzler. The Rizzler keeps it straight and continues to race. What a great job by him. Good kart control, Riz. And that leaves number one dad falling off the pace just a skosh. But we're going to take this kart cam the rest of the race. Looks like we have issues currently with our S-turn camera, so we're going to take the kart cam around into the S-turns. We'll see what we see, but you can see over there on the left-hand side of your screen that Brian, the leader, is already into the TV turn. There goes number 1 Dad through the horseshoe, coming around and into the S-turns again. Number 1 Dad taking a right-hand turn to make this front stretch as long as possible. Let's see what happens. Carrying that top speed right about there. And there he goes into turn 1. Brian on the right-hand side of your screen, now on the left, making the run. Brian passing the start-finish line, and here he goes into the TV turn with the usual suspects following him. Moto Lion and Steve C. and Gio. So, front. In the green is Brian, Moto Lion, Steve C. Gio right on his tail. All right, here we go. Brian, Moto, Steve C. Gio looks like he's got something for Steve C. And the Rizzler behind him, number 1 Dad. And behind number 1 Dad is Scrambled Eggs. More Dad sliding all over the place. There we go. Number 1 Dad coming off a great week. Finished second last week. If Brian wins this race, you can see Brian is still the leader. If Brian wins this race, he will be a 3-time winner here this year. That's incredible, folks. 3-time winner against these racers, where some league nights we've had as many as 25 racers here, all looking for a position to win in this league. This is not an easy league. The 11 that are here tonight are super good drivers. We got 3 or 4 drivers that aren't here tonight that are just as good. When you have a pack and a field like that to win 3 times, Brian, I'll tell you, that's pretty special. You got a couple 3-time winners right now. You have Brian and you have Blood Moon. Other racers that have won this year, pretty much most of the drivers in this pack. Oh, number 1 Dad and Scrambled get into it. We're running out of time here, folks. We have got to get this guy moving. That's what Scrambled Eggs and his crew behind him are thinking. You got Scrambled Eggs in the orange shirt being followed by Langford and ZMT. ZMT's gotten shuffled back into the pack. Very uncommon for ZMT to get shuffled so badly. But so he started 4th and now he's in 10th place. One thing is, again, we had a 9-man invert, so even though he started 4th, as far as qualifying goes, he qualified a little bit further back. Number 1 Dad through the S-turns for one of the final times now. About 5 laps left, and let's see what we can do. The field's kind of separated now into 2 packs here. You got number 1 Dad's pack. Followed a little bit further, and there's the left-hand, on the left-hand side of your screen, you can see Brian go by in the nice yellow jersey that he's wearing. Moto is sticking right with him. Oh, look at this! The Rizzler makes the pass on Steve C. Steve C made it all the way up to 3rd position. The Rizzler just shuffled him back to 5th position. So the current running order is Brian, Moto Lions, Gio, the Rizzler, Steve C, number 1 Dad, Scrambled Eggs, Langford, ZMT, Brennan, 315 coming up in the rear. There's the final 2 on that lap. We got 2 to go, folks. 2 to go with Brian in the lead. Look at Moto. He's tailing him. I'll tell you what. And Gio's there, too. Don't count Gio out. He's got a fast car, and he knows how to make this track short. Second pack is tight, too. I don't think Langford's happy running where he is. Here's the white flag, folks. Let's see what happens going into the TV turn. Brian, Scrambled, Gio. Number 1 Dad, Scrambled, And here we go, folks. Brian takes the checkered flag for the third time this season. What an incredible bit of racing. What an amazing job by Brian to bring home the checkered flag one more time. You'll see him on the podium. Here's our finishing order, folks. You have Brian as the winner. Moto Lions coming in second. Geo third. Rizzler fourth. Steve C fifth. After going all the way up to third place. Nice race, Steve C. Number one dad coming home in sixth. Seventh position went to Scrambled Eggs, followed by Langford, who qualified the pole, just couldn't make it out of traffic. ZMT getting shuffled back. Brennan in 315. If you like what you're watching, subscribe.